Hey everybody, it's Amutari here, and welcome back to another part of Guild Wars playthrough. I believe this is part 14. Now, I think in the last episode I said that we were going to tackle the wall, which is a mission, obviously. Defend the wall. Yeah, because the charge staging area is all the way by Pekin Square and the Ambassador Quandaries in Regent Valley. And you don't want to go to Regent Valley, or actually, if we go to the wall, it'll take us to Regent Valley. So I'm not really going to do much of an explanation, since hopefully you were watching the last couple episodes, and we're just going to kind of run right into it. I love that painting. I know it's random. Sorry I haven't really been recording much. I did just put up a Halloween video, the last one. It's part 3, because last night the Mad King showed up for Halloween, so that was pretty cool. Sorry you didn't get to see the tonic in it being used, but all it did was turn you into a really, really tiny figurine of the Mad King, and it really wasn't all that special. I'm wondering if it was actually worth the 30 minutes that it took to get that freaking tonic. I think that's why everybody else was complaining too. And I wonder if the tonics are the same every year, but I don't know. I should probably turn up my volume, but because there's actually some cinematics coming up. Because whenever you do missions, I guess this is where I should explain. You have to remember that cinematics on Guild Wars are what progress the story. So, I mean, not cinematics, missions. Missions are actually what progress the stories in the Guild Wars universe. So obviously when you're running a mission, you're actually doing part of the storyline to advance what was already happening. You remember the cinematic where it showed the Char destroying Ascalon? Well, now you have a cinematic where, oh, this is Aishin Scout. But now you have a cinematic where, a cinematic where it's telling you what happened afterwards, so. Squire Zachary. Hey, I want to talk to you. It's an honor to meet you, Argus Spear. I suppose you're wondering why Prince Rurik asks you here. I'm afraid I can't say, really. Captain Callahan is in charge, and I'm not so important, so they don't tell me anything, to be honest. I do know there's trouble ahead. You should gather a few allies before going to talk to the captain. He's the sort to send you right into the fray as soon as he sees you. What's your smell? So anyway, so we technically did the mission called Defend the Wall, and you'll see that it's gone. But now you'll see that we also have a new button that says Enter Mission, and if you look at the map here, you have this blank shield. The way you know you've not done a mission is that there will be this blank shield here, and when you complete the mission, there will be a sword through it. Now, each mission has 2 parts to it. It has the main mission, which is 1 sword, and then it has the optional conditions, which earns you another sword. Getting the other sword earns you more experience. Each mission itself gives you like 3,000 experience, something like that, which is really good. But earning an additional sword will give you an additional 1,000 experience, so that's like 4,000 experience, which is really nice. Most missions actually take a pretty long time. They can take anywhere from 30 minutes up to an hour, up to almost like an hour and a half. So whenever you're entering a mission, you cannot exit it. It's not like a quest where you can do a little bit here, do a little bit there, and kind of leave where you left off. No, a mission's a one-shot deal. You either complete it when you're in it, or you have to try again. So it's kind of like that Pokemon battle where your mom's like, dinner's ready, and you're like, Mom, I'm in the middle of a Pokemon battle, and she's like, well, just turn it off, and it's like, I can't, you don't understand. So it's kind of one of those things. So this is one of those things that you want to prepare for it ahead of time. Make sure you have a time slot open so that you can actually spend time on this mission. So yeah, so 1 sword means you did the main part of the mission, 2 swords means you did the bonus quest. And I don't know how to do all of the bonus quests. I know a few of them, but if I don't get them, like, I'm not too worried about it. I hope you're not either. I'm not going to talk to the Zaishin Scout. Zaishin Scouts you'll see scattered throughout different towns, and they basically tell you to go to Embark Beach, which is a different part of the game altogether. And once you go to Embark Beach, you can do a whole bunch of things. I wish I could explain it better to you, but there's really no way to. But you can do a whole bunch of things at Embark Beach. Basically, they have the Zaishin Menagerie, which is where you can basically unlock animals, so that if you create new characters later on, like, you can just do this, that, and the other. You can, like, tame animals or whatever. Basically, like, okay, he's a ranger, and his animal's a Melandru stalker. So if I went to the menagerie, and went up to the girl and was like, hey, look at my Melandru stalker. She would put it in the menagerie for like a certain amount of coins. That way, if ever I had another ranger character and I wanted to train a Melandru stalker, all I'd have to do is go back to the menagerie, and then I'd have one that I could tame. Anyways, the reason I'm looking out here is because this is where we're going. Beyond the wall. Whenever we enter the mission, we are going to be right here in this area, going this way, through the bridge, all around here, to this area, which is where the actual quest takes place. And this is why I say missions take a long time, because we're not even outside yet. So we should probably get in and start the mission. But yeah, so it's like, okay, normally, you know, the small quests like these, the secondary ones in Ascalon, they kind of tell you a little bit of what's going on. They're kind of the filler. She's asking if I want help. I got this mission. Thank you. This person's asking, if I wanted help, and I kinda lagged. Let's see, I didn't really lag. Sorry, I lagged. And she doesn't know that I'm questing. I'm kinda like running around, so I'm probably looking like an idiot. So anyways, we're gonna go get the henchman, and we're just gonna jump right into this quest. 2 and 1. Start mission. Okay, so yeah, in order to start a mission, you have to actually press the start mission button, or the mission, or enter mission button. Just so you know. Scout for Bonfaaz Burntfur's Char forces, search the North Wall to find the Char army and report your fightings to Captain Callahan. So basically, this is what we're doing in this mission. It kind of gives you an outline beforehand of what you'll be doing, but there's always something extra in between, just so you know. Another thing that you should remember is that we are currently at the Great Northern Wall. We are outside of it, but these are actually travel points. You can actually click these and actually travel to them, fast travel to them. So there's no need to really worry about not being able to get back to these areas, because you can fast travel to them, no problem. Captain Callahan. He says, we fear the Char General Bonfaaz Burntfur is planning a mass raid on the wall. Head north into enemy territory and find out what the Mangy Beast has planned. Okay. Simple enough. So this is one of those quests where I've done it 1,000 times. I know exactly how it works, and it's one of those things where this is kind of like, this is easing your way into missions, really. Now you have a choice. You can either help in killing these whiptail devourers, which I usually do just to keep experiencing items, or you can just kind of leave, because the devourers never really stop coming. So it's one of those things where it's like you can help, but it's not really going to do any good. Yeah, they just keep popping up. But of course, if you have your freaking imp out, he's going to go ahead and attack them anyway. So we're going to go ahead and go over here, and we're going to go over the bridge, and we're going to start this mission. Now the thing is that this mission does have a few elites. It has at least two or three, but nothing that's really, really hard. Enemies are level 4, so they're not too high level considering we are level 9. And the thing is, like, okay, here's basically an example. I started a new character the other day who's a dervish, and he is currently level 5, but when he was level 4, he was able to take on level 10 enemies in Nightfall. Now, the thing is, like, that's not always possible. I mean, obviously, he did have a really hard time of doing taking on those high-level enemies, but, like, this is just to show you that it's not something that's impossible. It's not something that can't be done. Take out the Eulite, take out the Eulite, take out the Eulite, I should probably make a song, write a song called Take Out the Eulite. And I hate it, these girls run around, they just run around like this. Day after Halloween, but the thing is, it's probably still possible to pick up trick-or-treat bags. Like, I know that there's been a few times where right after the holidays were over, you can still pick up holiday holiday event items like physical bag, or like if it was St. Patrick's Day, you could pick up like things of ale, lucky ale, and stuff before these closes. Trying to ignore the fact that just like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes ago, I freaking closed out of my Guild Wars browser because I'm stupid. Because they put the whole party screen right by the X button to close out. 10 coins. Marcus really needs money. The thing is, like, this is my secondary account, which means I don't put any love into it, really. I think this is the most attention I've ever given this account, really. Are you Elite? No, you're normal. Now, there is an elite over here. I don't know. It's usually a Devourer elite, which has some really, really funny names. So I'm waiting to see what it is. Because the thing is, the elites, they change their positions, they change their typing all the time, and they change their names. So it's like one time you'll go through this mission and you'll run into someone called like Ook Ook, and then second time, yeah, Anona, yeah, Onayana, Cub Cub. See, like usually this is a whiptail devourer. It's like a poison devourer. That's why this is so weird. White Girl necklace. Beaver. Yeah, usually there's a whiptail devourer that's an elite here, and it's so strange that this time it was actually a Thrall elite. So the missions are never the same, because whenever I always came through these things, there was always an elite that was a whiptail here, and his name was like something. He was a plague devourer, so he had this really, really nasty shit. Okay, so this is where the mission's gonna get really long and really hard. I know what the secondary objective is, and you have to go through these pieces of the wreckage, and you have to collect this guy's armor. And if you collect this guy's armor, all of the pieces, you will get the secondary accomplishment. It's an Ascalonian ghost, and you're basically trying to put him to rest by collecting all of his armor pieces. I'm gonna pull out my handy dandy little map here, because this is gonna come in handy, because otherwise I would get terribly lost. Because there are so many like little sides here and there, and so many different ways to get through the wreckage. I don't have a salvage kit, so this is gonna be really annoying. I'm gonna run out of space really fast. I've already picked up so many items. Hopefully the majority of what I get is like gold or something. So basically, the Ascalonian ghost is this way. Anybody's curious. And he'll give you the mission, and then after he gives you the mission, you can go and find his armor. And after you, I think it's like 4 pieces, 4 or 5 pieces. Like a helmet, his boots, his gloves, and his chest. I do believe. Hey, is that my healer? You leave my healer alone. Hey, I said leave my healer alone. I'm warning you. See, the thing is I'm thinking that the enemies in Prophecies are actually a lot harder to deal with than the actual enemies of Nightfall, because the thing is like, these enemies, they're only level 4, but they do go down a lot harder, so I'm wondering if it's just the monster type, or what. So here's the first piece of wreckage, and we're going to go ahead and click on it, which will activate it. And we get film test debris koozie, or whatever the hell it is. Koozie. We get his koozie. I guess it's chest. Koozie, like a cup. Is that what you guys call a cup holder? Like you call them a thing to keep your thing warm? Okay, we're gonna take out the Eurydice. Because the thing is, the gargoyles here, they're having a fight with the Brawl. And that's fine, because then that gives me a chance to take out the Eurydice. So that I'm not fighting the healers, and then I can take out the gargoyles afterwards. Okay, so now all of them are good. Now we can start taking out the These fires things out of freaking lower version. where I usually run out of space to put shit, because usually these things drop a hell of a lot of items. And this is actually the direction we're supposed to be going in order to complete this mission. But like I said, we're not completing the mission right away. We are actually just, oh, and this water slows you down, by the way. So try not to walk through it, at least not for long. So since we're looking for the guy's armor, this is actually going to take a while. Because I don't remember where all the pieces of the wreckage are. They're stuck in really odd places. That's why I needed this map out, like, so I could remember, because I think there's a piece of wreckage over here. Then there's some pieces of wreckage, but you don't have anything in the middle. So it's like you find them, and you have nothing. He either has 3 pieces, or he has 4 pieces. I know he has his leggings, like his boots, and I know he has his helmet, but I'm not sure whether he has his gloves or not. Any pieces of wreckage here? No, no, and no. Okay, moving along. Over here or something. No? Okay, moving along. Mission areas are so huge. Like, honestly, if you thought the other places were huge, you're sadly mistaken. These areas 10 times bigger. Well, I don't have enough to launch. Otherwise, I would open that treasure chest. Usually, missions Okay, again, this is the way we're technically supposed to be going. I don't want to go that way. I was actually heading from this direction, so we're going to go ahead and head this way. Basically, wherever there's enemies, this is where I'm trying to go, which means I have not been there yet. Because I know that there's a piece of wreckage over in this area. There should be a whiptail around here somewhere too, with an elite whiptail. There has to at least be one elite whiptail. And this guy around the corner will be an elite, most likely. Yes, you are. There he is. Let's rock stick. That's the one I was talking about. He's usually the one that's at the gate, and then you run into the brawl elite over here. This has not been the case. There's another piece of wreckage. What do we get? We got his pauldron. So we now have his helmet and his boots left to get. And if we follow this path, it'll lead down to his ghost, where he'll give us the bonus mission to collect all of his shit, even though we got 2 out of the 4 pieces. Or the 2 out of 5, but I think it's only 2 out of 4. Let's see. Yep, yeah, he's over here. Going this way, you're gonna end up at his tomb, which is really cool, mind you. Yep, here he is. Kiln, test debris. In life I was known as the Champion of Surmian. In death I am but a restless spirit. Please help me. The enchanted armor that sealed my tomb has been stolen. Find it and return it to me so that I may pass into the rift. So, there's his tomb. There's him. And we have 2 bonus recover the 4 pieces. Okay, it's 4. So, recover the 4 pieces of Kiln Test Debris' armor and return them to his tomb. So we already got 2. We already got his pauldron and his other thingy, whatever it was, his koozie. And now we're back here. We're back here where we first... Okay, and we went this way, which means we want to go this way. Oh yeah, there's a gargoyle that way. The only bad thing about this little mini-map, it's not very detailed. Like, it kind of explains where we are, but at the same time it doesn't explain where we are. I know that one of the pieces of wreckage is over in an area where there's a bunch of, like, devourers, and I know that the last piece of his stuff's, like, right in the char camp. So going this way, we're gonna end up in one of the places. Actually, really want to like look over the ledge. That's all I want to do. I want to look over the ledge, make sure there's no wreckage pieces down there. And I remember one of the wreckage pieces is kind of hidden, and you can't really see it very well. So I want to make sure that I don't miss it. I want to get this over with, like, as soon as possible. Not because I don't like playing it, mind you. I mean, that's not really it. It's just, I don't like the other objectives. I kind of could have gone without doing it, because the quest itself is actually really, really simple if you don't go looking for the freaking wreckage pieces. But the thing is, I kind of want to show you what I mean by what happens when you get those achievements versus when you don't get them. Plus, there will be all those quests where I can get the extra objective just because I've never done them before. And I don't know where they are, or whatever. 11 coins. And the wreckage thing should be, like, right behind those ruins. I think. If I can even go behind there. There's been times when the game, there's been times where the game glitches out and I can't. Okay, so there's this crest. And now all we have is the one last piece, which is over here in the char area, which I always forget how to get to. Because this is not it. Okay. Right. Oh, because we have to cross the bridge thing. Right. Man, I always forget how to get the shit. Yeah, there's the char thing. There it is right there. Now I just have to remember to get up there. This is where I'm gonna get lost. There's all these different passages. I like it how the lightning is just randomly striking in places. And it's just like, it's just a common occurrence in Ascalon. Like, oh, this shit happens all the time. Crazy weather, really. Like, Okay, it's over here. No, it's not. I lied. So this is a dead end. Isn't it? No, it's not. So this just leads back to What's-His-Face grave. This is gonna be a long circle. But the circle is necessary. Because we have to go all the way up this mountain, and then we have to go around a back passage to end up like somewhere in this area. We have 3 or 4 pieces. Chillax. We're gonna go get your helmet right now. I wish I do have a spell that actually makes me run faster, but I didn't equip it because I want to keep my troll unguent. I don't know, I've been playing my dervish, and he has a spell that makes him move like 33% faster. And even though he only moves for like 5 seconds faster, like, it's still like really nice to have that extra boost of speed so that I'm not dealing with like having to just walk through everything and it just taking so freaking long. And the thing is, like, if I were to do video editing on every time where I have to walk somewhere, it's like, I would only have like a 5-minute video. I think most of these quests in themselves, they're not very long. See, I told you I had to take the back way. That's where I always get lost. I always forget to take the back way because I forget that just depending on which way you head, the path's completely different. Like, it looks the same, but you're not going in the same direction. You're not going the same way. There's a curve somewhere where it throws you off or whatever. See, these freaking NPCs are smart. They always go behind the wall because they know that your magic can't reach them. And they make your character, like, literally, they make your character have to run all the way through them. See, there's a wreckage part right up there, but that wreckage part isn't going to have anything. Or at least it shouldn't. It might. It should be one of the empty ones, the fake ones. But if not, that'll be nice. Because I think there's also a wreckage part over here. No? Okay, usually there is. Usually there's another wreckage part, like, in here. So they give you a choice within, like, 2 of them. And, like, one of them, like, has nothing in it, and the other one actually has a piece of armor. Okay, I already took him out. Wreckage. Do you have anything? You do. His greaves. Awesome. Okay, so we have all 4 pieces, right? Inventory. Yeah, we have his pauldron, his crest, his greaves, and his koozie. I'm gonna have fun saying that all day. I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally went to go get Kiln's koozie. Now, in order to complete this quest, we actually have to keep going this way because there's a char camp over there, but because we have all this stuff, we have to go all the way back. And then we will get the bonus achievement for having gotten all of Kiln's armor pieces. So we've officially done the first part of the mission, which isn't even really part of the mission. So congrats, you guys. You've now experienced what bonus objectives are all about, which is about making you spend more time on a mission than what you would normally spend on a mission. And we were spending all the time in this video going on a mission. Like, okay, if you think about it, you'll do like 3 quests, and then you might get somewhere near like 1,000 experience. In the beginning, of course, because each quest is worth like 250 experience or something like that, maybe sometimes 500. So you'll do about 3 or 4 quests, you'll get like maybe 1,000, 1,500 experience. So it does make sense that these missions are as long as they are, because they are worth 3,000 experience, which means you do have to actually put work into them. But for lazy people like me, it's like I hate having to do missions, even though they progress the storyline, just because I literally don't want to. Hey, I got your stuff. Thank you. Congratulations, the team has successfully returned Tisroon's armor to his tomb. I will remember your kindness when we meet again in the underworld. Yeah, thanks. I hope he does. Okay, so as you saw, we got our first thing. Party completed bonus goal. Yeah, your party completed the bonus goal, you have earned 1,000 experience. So the bonus goals, like I said, always earn you one sword. And if you check, we already have 1 sword in the shield. I got something in my throat. Don't be dirty, I hear your dirty thoughts. I hear your dirty thoughts like all the way through the computer screen. So anyways, as I was explaining it, just because you get 1 sword through the shield does not mean that you are finished with this mission. I mean, obviously you have to complete the main goal of the mission in order to progress. Because like I mentioned in the last video, and I mentioned it kind of in this video, when you complete a mission, it teleports you to a completely different area. So we've started this mission at the Northern Wall. But after we finish the mission, we will no longer be at the Northern Wall, we'll actually be at Fort Ranting in Regent Valley. And the reason we'll be there is because you've advanced in the storyline, and you'll see as the storyline changes, you'll be thrown into different places due to circumstances going on within the main storyline. So that's why before you go on missions, always make sure that you have tied up any loose ends with quests that you can do in the area that you're in, because otherwise you'll have to backtrack. And I hate having to. You're up Gorefest. No, kill him. Kill him first. Always kill the little grunt first. Like, when it comes to being an elite, or whatever, he's not really an elite, but every time it comes to, like, beating a mini-boss, or whatever you would call this, like a rare creature, always just kill the minions first. Because if you don't kill the minions first, like, then these guys are seriously OP. There's nothing up there. And of course you have the fireplace here. Now, once you actually get to this point, you have basically finished 90% of the mission. The only thing you have to worry about is now getting back. And you'll see what I mean. Like, you don't have to go through this area again, which is nice. You'll actually be running through a different area, but I'm gonna shut up now, I'm gonna let you watch it. This is the fun part. Probably turn it up a little bit. You're gonna walk this area right here and let the fun begin.
The Char invasion force. Captain Calhan was right.
That's Bonfaaz Burntfur, by the way. And he doesn't say shit, even though later on Char speak.
They spotted us! Back to the wall!
Now, there's really nothing else that he says in the cinematic, so I'm gonna go ahead and speak. But now your path's been changed, because they broke through the wall, and etc. So now the whole point of this mission, like, you'll see, you literally cannot fight the Char army. There's just too many of them. Oh shit. Yeah, you literally cannot fight the Char army. There's just too many of them. So you just need to run. Leave your imp behind, because then, like, a lot of the Char will just focus on the imp. All of your party members are going to die. You only have 3 minutes and 12 seconds to get back to the freaking wall. Don't use any spells. Don't use any nothing. See, already the Fire Ink's dead. Teemo's probably going to be next, or the last thing that dies since he follows me. You'll have Devourers popping up in front of you like this, like just run through them. Don't fight them, just keep running. Run around them. Like they're going to hit you, and you're going to take damage, but you cannot fight them. If you stop and fight them, the whole Char horde is going to gather up on you, and you're just not going to survive. Plus, you only have a certain amount of time to make it back to the wall, which is kind of nerve-wracking in itself, because it just takes so freaking long. Plus, my Necromancer's slow as hell, not to mention my computer keeps lagging, so I keep running into walls. I think that's what scares me most. So suddenly the Char have backed off, and you're like, okay, I'm safe, like, they're not following me. And there wasn't that many, right? So you're like, I could have handled them. No, you couldn't. Like, there was one time where I'm like, I gotta fight off all the Char and then run back to the wall, or I don't know what I was thinking. So all of a sudden, those doors open, which is where you need to go. Shit, what am I? Stop running into walls. Ugh. God. So now the Char are coming from 2 directions. So you have literally this whole horde of like hundreds of Char following behind you, and like, yeah. The counter stops right as you reach like Callahan or whatever, so it's like you don't really have to worry about it. You always make it back in time. So you're gonna lead all these Char into these freaking poor little soldier dudes. And this is basically the end of the mission. Like, the minute you make it through here, like, that's the end of the mission. But you still have to talk to him before it totally ends.
You're back. Well done. What news of the Char? Sir, we found Bonfaaz Burntfur and the Char army in a valley to the north. But I'm afraid we were spotted. They come for the wall as we speak.
Even though they're already there. It's like, oh, they come for the wall. Even though they're already fighting.
There are too many. We'll never hold them back. The wall is lost. We must fall back. Retreat! Retreat! Regroup at the bunkers just north of Fort Ranting. We can't let the Char make it to the capital.
All the Char like lined up at the door like, close it, forever we gotta get in. Boy. These missions, they're so gross. Okay, so that was basically your first mission. We managed to get both the bonus thing and the main thing. And like I said, now we're at Fort Ranting, which is another cooperative mission. So we could enter the mission and completely, like, throw ourselves into another story thing. But honestly, I'm probably going to leave it here for today. We actually got a really nice haul. Like, we got a bunch of items that we could sell. Not really as many as what you usually get on a mission. Usually on a mission, you're literally going to run out of space within the first 5 minutes of it. But basically, as you saw, like, going there advanced the storyline. You know, now we're at Fort Ranting, so basically you know that, you know, at the northern wall, the wall was lost, which means we're losing this war against the Char right now, because there's just too many of them, too little of us. We're not really holding our capital well, obviously, seeing how everything's, like, broken and burnt. You know, it's like we're not holding the capital well, and now you kind of get the sense of what's going on in this story. Now you know why Kryta came to help us. Now you know why Rurik says we really need the Crichton's help, because our armies are not enough to hold back the Char, you know? So it's one of those things where all the missions you've done up to this point are now starting to come together, and that's what the missions are for. That's what the missions kind of take everything that you've been doing here and there, and they kind of throw it all together. So it's like, you know, whenever you start post-searing, you end up in this, this place where all of a sudden you're running missions for this guy that wants to help you, you're running missions for the prince, you're running missions for the king, and you're basically at this point where everybody's expecting you to choose a side, and at the same time you're stuck in this, you're just stuck in this really bad position, because you're in the middle of a war, and there's a political war going on at the same time as the main war against the Char, and I don't know, it's all crazy and messed up. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna salvage all this stuff. I know it's boring for you guys to watch, but yeah, I mean, this is what I love about Guild Wars, though. It's one of those things where you're not just always doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's not just running small little quests and occasionally catching on to the storyline. I think this is what I didn't like about World of Warcraft, was that I was playing this game, I was playing this game, and, like, I was taking all these quests, like, I bought all the expansion packs in bulk, or someone bought them for me for Christmas. Like, I got them for Christmas one year, and the thing is I like World of Warcraft. I actually think it's very fun. But the thing is the quests are just spread out all over the place. It's like you take Dwarven quests, and you kind of get what's going on there, but you don't really. And then it's like, okay, and then you get into all these other quests, and it's just like, and suddenly the storyline just doesn't make sense, because you have one storyline going off of one expansion, you have the other storyline going off of another expansion, and then you're just running around doing this, that, and the other thing, and you don't have movie scenes. You don't have big cinematics that really explain what's going on, and so it's one of those things where it's just like, you get lost so easily, and it's a lot harder to stay involved in the story. But what Guild Wars does is it basically forces you to be in the story. If you want to get anywhere in this game, you have to be involved in the story. You have to take the missions. You have to do the missions in order to advance. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you want to just run around and kill monsters all day and farm materials, good for you, and you go ahead and do that. But the thing is you're going to be, like, so bored, and missions aren't always fun. I mean, they're hardly ever fun, to be fair. But it's like, you really can't do anything else, so the game doesn't really give you that choice. But all in all, I mean, like I said, this is what I love about Guild Wars, is that they want you to feel your character's pain. They want to throw you into this situation where you've lost your homeland, you've lost everything, and now you're basically being forced to choose whether you want to help the prince and the Crichtons, or whether you want to help the king and stay loyal to your country. So it's one of those things where they really just want to take you on an emotional roller coaster, so to say. And I really like that about this game, and it's one of my favorite parts of playing this game. So anyways, in order to keep these things kind of organized or whatever, these videos are going to be short. I know that whenever I do a mission, I'm just going to do the mission by itself and then end the video there, because missions take a long time, and I don't know how long it'll take to do other, like, smaller quests afterward, and I don't want to make these videos too long. Therefore, I think it's better to keep it this way. Next time, what we're going to do is we are actually going to do two things. We're going to go ahead and do the Ambassador's Quandary, since we are outside of Fort Ranting, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to Ascalon first and see if we can gather any other quests. I'll probably do that before I start recording, so that if there are no quests, I'm not just wandering around going, where are all my quests? So next time we're going to do the Ambassador's Quandary. We're going to go ahead and do the mission at Fort Ranting, which I'm not too fond of that one. Or actually, no, I wasn't too fond of the last one. This one is actually really funny. It's very hard, but it's very funny. And usually this next one is something that you want to play with another person, because it's really complicated otherwise if you're not playing with another person, but oh well. I'll make it through somehow. I mean, I made it through the first time by myself. Anyways, this has been Sam Utari playing Guild Wars, Part 14. Yay! Go ahead and hit like if you enjoyed these videos. Make sure that you check out my Halloween videos too, because those are spectacular. The third one's actually a lot better than all the rest, because they're not just all music and whatnot. And, anyway, so yeah, just go ahead and give me a like, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see in these episodes to come, let me know what you think of the missions, and let me know what you think of the storyline so far, and what you would do if you were in Arcus's position where you had to choose your king for your country or your prince for the people. So, Just let me know what you think about that. And last but not least, please subscribe and connect with me online. I just posted a blog about the conclusion to the Halloween events, and I'm always trying to figure out new things to write, such as gaming reviews and stuff such as that. Anyways, this is Samutari out, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Alright, talk to you guys later. Ciao.